Good evening. I'd like to call the May 1st, 2024 work session, Cedar Lake Plan Commission work sessions to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Justice.
Turn this on. Roll call, please.
We can't get this one justice anymore.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Huntley?
Here.
Ms. Dessauer? Present. Mr. Wolfgang?
Here.
Mr. Capero?
Present.
Mr. Oliphant?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Bungie?
Here.
Ms. Abernathy? Present. Ms. Hyden is present.
Okay, first order of business. Creeth and Carlin, final plat. Owner Jeffrey Thomas and Julia Faith Carlin, 5030 West 100th Lane, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Petitioner Cord Creeth. Unica Design and Building, 2700 Valparaiso Street, Unit 1506, Valparaiso, Indiana, 46384. Vicinity of 6949-70 West 126th Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Petitioner is requesting final plat for a one-lot subdivision for a single-family residential home. Good evening.
Good evening. So we are here for
Name and address, please.
Corey Creeth, Unique Design Build, 2700 Valparaiso Street, Unit 1506.
Okay.
Looking for final plat approval to move forward with the construction of a single-family residence. We had a positive review last meeting, 7-0, so we're just looking to move forward.
Okay. Don, do you have anything?
We have the document, we're still reviewing it, but I don't anticipate any issues.
Okay.
Should be pretty good in 2 weeks.
Building department?
No major comments from the building department. A little similar to the Joyful Acres. This one, if allowed to go on the public agenda, would be 2 days before that 30-day. Preliminary plat was approved April 17th. Our public meeting's on May 15th, so if the Plan Commission is okay with waiving the 2-day requirement.
So it'll be 3 days early.
2.
2 days?
2 days.
Is this the one we talked about before, or is this a different one?
Similar to the one that we did last month with Joyful Acres.
Yeah, you'll hold the signatures until the 2 days?
Hold the signatures until the 17th comes.
Okay, I don't see a problem with that. Commissioners, have any questions?
No, sir.
Some of the, it says it's 126, but a lot of people know it as Vermillion too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What's not complete, Don?
I mean,
You said a few comments. You said a few comments.
No, it's complete, we're still reviewing the final plat, so we just haven't completed our review yet. We've looked at preliminary.
Okay.
This is now final. We just haven't
Right.
gotten through the submittal yet. But normally it's ministerial, and we didn't have many comments on preliminary, and there shouldn't be any issues with final.
Okay.
Okay, so, no further questions? See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Number 2, Kubo, final plat. Owner Martha Ann Kubo, trust dated 1/31/92, 13305 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Petitioner Brian Kubo, 13305 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Vicinity of 13135 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Petitioner is requesting a final plat for a one-lot subdivision with one outlot. Hi.
Hi, I'm here representing Brian Cabal. I'm Stuart Allen from Turinga Surveying, 907 Ridge Road, Munster, Indiana, 46321.
Okay.
So I think it's been viewed a little bit here, and we made some changes to the preliminary plat, do some dedication of right-of-way for widening of Morris Street, and then also the alley to take into account where the radius is for the existing pavement. So I think everything's in order.
That was
Similar to the last petition.
Yeah, I mean, based on the final plat they've submitted, they've kind of concurred with our right-of-way dedications on Morse and 132nd and the corner. So I imagine Mr. Kubel was okay with that?
Yeah, he was okay with it, and also, I was concerned that maybe the lot wouldn't be large enough, but it still is, it still complies with the
Okay.
required square footage for the north lot. The south lot, of course, there's a variance for that.
Yeah.
And we were gonna, he was before us last month, and he wanted to look this over, so it sounds like he's okay with it.
So not an easement, a dedication.
It is a right-of-way dedication, it's shown.
Perfect.
There's enough room to put a sidewalk there now, basically.
Gives us room to work, yeah. Probably won't put one in there, but it gives us room to work.
There is.
Yeah. So,
This is on the north side of the building and the south side. I'm sorry, the north side and the
west.
southwest side, west side.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Building department, anything?
Similar comments to the last plat. 2 days before the 30 days would expire, so if okay with the plan commission, we'd withhold signatures until May 17th.
Commissioners have anything else?
No, sir.
Nope.
See you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Thanks.
Number 3, Newhouse concept plan. Owner Melissa Newhouse, 14829 Reeder Road, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Petitioner Michael Newhouse, 14829 Reeder Road, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Vicinity of 14829 Reeder Road, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Petitioner is requesting a concept plan, Mr. Bellner, for one-lot subdivision. Part of the address change is part of this too? Yeah, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
Right now, the legal address is for Crown Point.
There's
According to
number 4 on
county
this is a request for address change of 142nd Avenue by Paul Mish. Number 5, consideration of waiver from town standards for a new house to be constructed on an existing gravel road in town's road inventory.
Skip ahead, John.
That's not part of it, huh?
No,
just
he's
a
just
table.
number 3.
Just 3.
He's just presenting a concept plan for one lot sub.
Boy, I'm really confused now. All right, let's go with number 3. Question the concept plan for one-lot subdivision. Name and address, please.
Mike Neuenhouse, 14829 Reeder Road.
Okay, tell us what you want to do.
I'm trying to get these couple lots combined so I can put up a proper pole barn, correct size for the lots, and in the right position.
Don, you have anything?
Concept-wise, nothing at this time.
Building department?
So, as Mr. Neuenhouse stated, he wants to build a new structure on, accessory structure on the property. In order to do that, right now, with all meets and bounds, he would need to make it that legal lot of record in order to demolish the existing accessory structure and build a new. So he's coming in front of you for the concept plan with the hope of being in front of you in June for preliminary plat.
How big is this property going to be when it's combined?
It's over 3 acres, if I remember correctly.
It's a big-
2.14.
It's a big piece of ground.
Okay.
So he would be allowed a maximum of 2,000 square feet accessory structure size, which does allow him to build a post frame by right.
So there's really no problem with this. Commissioners have anything?
No,
Is
sir.
it 2,000 square foot building, is that what you're after?
That's what I'm going for, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, but I know it was an issue with having 2 separate, well, it's actually 3 separate lots. So, just get them combined to get the right size.
Okay, so then, what's his next step?
Next step would be preliminary plat in June.
For what?
Preliminary plat in June.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you know what you have to do there? or-
Yep, I'll take care of it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Don,
Thank you.
Don,
Yeah,
any snags with this?
shouldn't be.
Okay,
It's a large lot, there's already right-of-way dedicated along Reeder Court and Reeder Road.
Okay.
We might request a little bit at that intersections, because the road's like right on the edge, but the house is adequately far away from it, I don't anticipate any issues.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No, I was just listening to,
That's why I said that before you ran out the door.
All right, who's this address request change for?
That's for Mr. Paul Mish. That's a different section. That is on,
Well, there's no explanation.
9102 West 142nd is what is listed as the property address. It's lots 21 to 24 in the James Wan subdivision.
That's the next one, right? Number
Right,
four.
that's number 4. And I am not currently seeing Mr. Mish, and he said he was going to be present in person.
Is he online, Don?
Nobody is online. What was that address again? 9102?
You're there.
All right.
You're
Okay.
there. He's got lots 21 to 24. Do you want me to go through this one without Mr. Mish present?
Not if he's not here.
Can we skip it towards the
Towards
end?
the end?
Because maybe he might think it's 7 o'clock instead of 6.
If that's the direction of the
I think
planning
that's
commission?
We might not be here at 7 o'clock, the way things are going.
Well, we'll save it towards the end, but at least.
I don't know why we would discuss if he wasn't here.
I just had a question. Is this gonna be a 10,000 square foot piece of property?
If you combine them,
Combined?
be 100 by 108.
Yeah, probably 100 by 100.
Just make it.
About 10-8?
Yep.
Okay, we'll make it. I think Chuck's idea is good. Let's wait till the end.
Get till the end at least. Good.
That's a good idea.
Well, there's no, description here under number 4 for what this is.
My-
The address or the owner or none of that.
It's in the packet, though.
My apologies. I will make sure that it's...
I wanted to read something. Where is it?
For James Bond subdivision.
It doesn't matter, he's not here, we'll wait. If he's not here by the time, we're done with this, work session, then that'll be deferred to next work session. Number 5, consideration of waiver from downstanders for a new home to be constructed on existing gravel road in the town's road inventory. That said, I have no idea where this is.
I've looked at it.
The owner is Michael Smith. The property address is 14315 Rockland Street in Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303.
The road looks like it's a gravel road.
In this picture in the packet, Ashley, there's a house to the north of him.
There is.
There's already a house there.
Is there a petitioner here?
He was going to be zooming in, so the property owners currently live in Arizona. So they were gonna try and zoom in for tonight's meeting.
Did he know it started at 6?
I did tell him that it was 6 PM Central Time. I think they're on 4 PM Pacific or Mountain Time? Mountain. So,
Yeah, they're, part of the year they're on Mountain, and the other part of the year they're on, Pacific.
he
It
said
doesn't
where
matter
he
what,
lives, they
it's
don't.
6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said where
So
he
I don't
lives,
care
the
what time
time
they're on.
change.
I spoke to this gentleman on the telephone and went and looked at this property. Ashley, is there any history, did he call and make requests before he purchased this property on?
We had numerous conversations, Mr. Smith and I did. When he was talking to me, I had not seen or foreseen any problems with him building that house on that property, because there had been a house on that property.
Right.
There's already an existing sewer and utility bill. The house that was there was demolished by the former owner
Yeah,
without.
I don't know either. He's not here, and there's things that have to be said that he should hear. And so I don't want to really go on any further. If he's not online and acting, it has to be referred to the next work session.
I'll second that.
Yeah, same.
I can't make a motion.
It's a work session.
It's just a waste of time to talk about things though when the petitioner's
Susan's
not
answering
here.
Greg's question.
Yeah.
But why are we talking about if the petitioner's not here?
We're not. Going on. Number 6, extension of Beacon Point West Unit 5 performance letter of credit.
The property owners or the developers would like to extend the letter of credit for Beacon Point, referred to as West Unit 5, to November 19th, 2024, in the amount of $212,835.71. This will be on your public hearing agenda.
Okay, is an extension for how long?
6 months.
6 months. Any questions?
Yeah, I had a question for Don.
Yeah.
This performance letter of credit is being extended. Does that include anything that needs to be done on the north end of the property by the ditch?
Regarding what?
And regarding the MS4 violations that were there?
No. It includes the pond, but the pond's in decent working order right now, so. The remaining items really are related to pavement.
Okay.
I have a question for Dave. With these two other items that were on the works, our work schedule here, can we, if they show up after our special meeting, can we continue with that?
Only if you continue this work study session.
So, we need to say we're gonna continue this to address the two that might come up later.
It would require a motion, a second, and an affirmative action.
Can we do that?
You can, if there's a motion, a second, and affirmative action.
I'll make a motion to, allow the work session to continue after our special public meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Sisseauer?
No.
Mr. Wilking?
Yes.
Mr. Capero?
No. Motion carries 5-2. Okay, update items. Cedar Lake Storage Phase 2 update.
They have provided the April pictures, April pictures to me. As reported last month, they have provided a copy of the report. Most of the plan commission members have been told, if not, Friday is my last day with the town. I have provided them who to provide the pictures to for the month of May, which will be their last month because their deadline is June 15th. So the pictures for May will be going to town manager Jeff Bungie and his administrative assistant Kristen.
Do you anticipate they'll be on schedule?
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
They've contacted the asphalt company, correct?
They sent a contract.
Okay.
Do you know the schedule on it?
I couldn't find a schedule date on the contract. I will reach out to them and let them know to please advise the town when the paving will begin.
No, did they give you a scheduled start date for asphalt?
They did not.
Okay.
Is it site services, right?
It
the
is my
contractor?
services.
They're a contractor on a current town job, I can ask them directly.
That'd be great.
Well, I mean, there's assurance out there,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, and they're well aware of what the time span is, okay. Number 2, Perez, performance letter of credit expires June 14th, 2024.
So, as reported last month, the Perez advised me that as part of their closing with the new owner of the property, they were going to carry the performance letter credit for 1 more year. At the end of the year, the new owner will then pick up the performance letter credit. That being said, I did receive a extension to this one, and that will be on your public hearing agenda for May 15th.
Have they sold it already?
They have.
They have.
Yes, they've contacted utility billing to get everything updated.
Number 3, Cedar Lake Storage, performance letter of credit expires July 1st, 2024.
This is for their public infrastructure in the front, that's the sidewalk and
Minor,
binder.
no, some minor surface between the sidewalk, the existing sidewalk and the town public roadway.
Is it concrete or blacktop?
Both.
Okay.
They are.
So concrete sidewalk around the northeast of their portions, kind of the finishing of it, and then pavement between the sidewalk that is poured and the butt joint they have cut out there. I think it's $7,000, right?
$7,700.
Yep.
They are aware of what they need to do in order for it to be able to rotate.
Number 4, Beacon Point, Unit 3, maintenance letter of credit expires July 12, 2024.
We have our punch list together. It's actually on my desk to review. It should go out before the end of the week.
So they have time to do whatever they have to do,
That's the goal.
hopefully. Number 5, Beacon Point, Unit 4, performance letter of credit expires July 25th, 2024.
I believe the intent is to extend this one probably another 6 months to get pavement down towards the end of the year.
Okay. Number 6, Beacon Point East, Unit 1, performance letter of credit expires July 30th, 2024.
This is the pond improvement one, so this is the fronting unit of Beacon East, so we'll need to get on this one pretty quick. At least we've had a week without rain, which is good. So
Okay.
I think we're moving into a period where we can get started on it.
Number 7, Rose Garden Estates, Unit 3, performance letter of credit expires August 22nd, 2024.
This is the typical Rose Garden. I haven't heard anything from them. But we got till August, so, I mean, they're done out there now.
Yeah, the building's done, their builders have moved out, so now it's all just everything.
Yeah, they have our,
All the amenities are there? The splash pad's there, the pool's there?
Well, they really
whatever,
haven't.
amenities?
We've done a complete inspection of units 1, 2, and 3. They haven't called in for underground inspections for follow-up to unit 1 or 2 or 3. So that's on them to request it. And then once we start getting those requests, we'll get into the more nitty-gritty of some of their amenities. I know the pool house is up and running, I believe. That was their biggest amenity. And they've built out their interior walking path as they've gone. So I'm quite confident those are in, minus probably some punch list items for the actual ADA ramps. But the list is long.
Okay. Okay, public comment. Any public comment?
Angie Michaelchek, 12806 Lee Court. Good evening. I was just here for the last Plan Commission session. You said that you wanted an update on our property as far as from the Stormwater Board and removal of the shed on the adjacent property behind my house. And I was wondering if there was any updates for me.
The next storm board meeting isn't until May 14th, so I won't be able to have an update from them until after that, or the town won't. The shed has been moved.
Okay, one of the questions I have on the shed is if the shed's removed, the foundation should be removed also, correct?
I'm not sure what type of foundation was there. I'll have the inspector take a look.
Rocks.
Rock?
Yes, there's currently 3, 4, in some areas 6 feet of rock built up. 2 railroad ties. Also, after the shed was turned, and I do have to say I had a video of it, it took 3 minutes to just turn from this way to this way. I don't know about the placement of it on the other property, but I can tell you that after they removed the carport, the shed, and the 2 Connex boxes, that there's plenty of rock there. And I had Public Works come out, not on my request, but they came out to clean the drains in our subdivision, and I had one of them go in the back, because I was showing them the property as far as the drain is concerned, and he said that rock up there is just going to go in your yard. And sure enough, when we had a heavy rain, I had created like a hole in the backyard. Don called it a decorative pond. It was all white, so that gravel's coming down my property.
Okay. I got a letter or email today from Kristen, Jeff's secretary assistant, and I responded to it and told her that this plan commission has done pretty much everything they can do to alleviate your problem.
Yes, sir.
And the items that are left are either storm board or code enforcement.
Even with the stone, sir?
So I asked her to turn it over to notify them or what have I, copied Jeff in on that. And, so there is really nothing else we can do. We've been fighting this along with you for a year and a half or whatever. And, I told her that if the foundation is supposed to be removed and it's not, then they're in violation of what we told them, and to start fining them from the 6th day on for $2,500.
Okay.
That's what Mr. Detmeyer told us, at the last meeting. So either they do something or get out their wallet. But that's the most I can say we can do. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay. Well, there was one question I had, and it was regarding where the shed is placed now, which is on the adjacent property next door to me. And instead of it being on the hill in the back, now it's on the hill on the side. And I don't know, because I've been following meetings and such, if I should have got notified for that, if it exceeds the 25% footprint on that property. Because with the Board of Zoning Appeals, I had gotten a notice from the town regarding, to show up for the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting, because they wanted to do some zoning changes. And I just didn't know, because I thought the ordinance said no more than 25%, and I didn't get any notification. Because they said the shed was 16 by 40, and I believe my house is identical to his house, except I have windows at the top, he doesn't, and it's .25 acre.
There's 25% and there's also setbacks that should have been abided by before a shed was placed, correct, Ashley? So was that done?
The permit was reviewed by a building inspector for compliance with all town code. It was determined it was meeting all town code, and it was approved.
He got a permit to move the shed to where it's at right now?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
So normally that wouldn't come in front of anyone unless it didn't follow those setback and percentage.
Okay.
I don't have.
I know what's normal, but...
I have a question. Mr. Austin, if there was BZA approval for the shed the first time and now it's in a different location, should there have been BZA approval again?
I guess that depends on whether the move is substantive or not.
There was never any BZA approval for the shed.
Oh, 1640 was okay with the lot size and everything?
16 by 20, if I remember the permit.
I thought you said 40.
Yeah,
double-checked
I
the
thought
permit,
Mr. Kubiak
but-
said it was 16 by 40.
40's big.
It is big.
That's a big shed.
I don't think it's that big.
Okay.
That's Polar.
I can show photos if you...
It may be, but
16 by 40, that's a big, that's a big
You
building.
can probably see it on the,
When did
GI
he pull that permit for that, to move that shed?
So our last meeting was the 17th, either the 18th or the 19th, I think.
It came right after, and it met the requirements of the town.
Yes,
Got the picture down with the round roof.
according to the building inspector, reviewed and signed off on it.
Where was the carport? Is that the shed? 21
That-
by 25? That's roof line now, so it's probably a little smaller than that.
Where do we get 16 by 20?
Yeah,
Right, I got
Mr.
16 by
Kubiak said it was
I was
16 by
guessing.
40.
I myself did not see the permit.
Well, here again,
I
if
can
it
look at the
doesn't
permit
meet-
itself.
If it doesn't meet coverage, and, it's an oversized shed or what have you, here again, this refers back to code enforcement.
You know if a electrical permit was pulled for that shed to hook electric up to it?
I did not review the permit. So I cannot say for certain.
Should have to probably check with the
I would have to check
inspector
with-
that did
Yep.
the approval.
I would need to check with the inspector and the building permit.
Well, those are things I'd like to know, so I would like to
I
have,
mean, we have a whole bunch more questions again.
yeah.
Well, to be honest, when I looked at the preliminary plans for the subdivision, it says 15-foot drainage easement behind the subdivision, and it appears to me as the shed's in the drainage easement on the other side. So,
We don't allow for structures in easement, so if it was in the easement, it wouldn't have been approved. That's ordinance 498.
Where's it at now? Is it back?
Not in the easement.
It's not in the easement?
I have photos if you'd like to see, but,
Are you implying that it is in the easement still?
it may possibly be. Like Don said before, I didn't do my own survey, but on the preliminary for the subdivision, it shows 15-foot drainage easement behind the property.
Do you see the 15-foot down on there?
It won't show up on here.
Okay.
I do believe there's a 15-foot uniformly across 1 and 2 rear, I believe.
Because also, I just want to tell you that, there's suddenly, in the sidewalk in the front, they dug out a hole that's filling with water from where the shed is and then in front by the street. So now that's filling with water.
Okay, that's fine. Here again, the plan commission can't do anything about that. So a lot of this has to be brought up with the building department and code enforcement.
Okay, I did go in on Monday and I spoke to Kirsten and I also had, Mr. Bungie had come out to my property because I had requested Mr. Bungie and a building inspector to come to my property because the day after the plan commission hearing, the last plan commission hearing, I got a red tag on my house because when I moved into the house, the stairs coming off of our deck were rotten from the water, there's a lot of water in our yard. So we repaired them, and apparently I needed a permit. I didn't know that. As soon as I got a red tag, I immediately went and I spoke to Mr. Bungie. I filled out an application, gave him my survey with the diagram on it and everything that was required. And then they had given me a fine 3 times the amount according to the ordinance because I didn't file a permit. And I apologize, I did not know at the time that I needed that because the stairs were rotten out and it was a safety hazard. I couldn't get off the back porch. It was built in properly, and if I didn't have that water situation, I wouldn't have had to face the cost of repairs, but I did, and I took care of that. So I had actually spoke to Mr. Bungie in his office and asked for him and the building inspector to come out to the house, and they had me sign a waiver to say, and the waiver's in my bag there, but it says something about a new home construction that I signed off that they didn't check the posts. And so, yeah, it's actually, it's a ground deck, it's 18 inches. It was over where the water was, so I had built it up, kind of graded the land around it to avoid coming into my foundation. So my question is, it's been said, and the town had said about the shed never having been permitted, or the carport, and I was wondering why they never got any fees or red tags, but I did. And I was telling Mr. Bungie that I felt like I was being treated unfairly, and I would like to know why.
I got a question. When he pulled the permit for the shed, was that 3 times the amount of the permit as well?
For her neighbors?
Yeah, for moving the shed.
I am not aware.
When did you repair it sounds like you repaired your deck.
Yes, recently. Yes, well, I actually did extend it because what was there were like 3 rotten steps.
Was that recent?
Yes, like last year it was. But I paid, right away I took care of it. And like I said, I did not mean to break any rules, but,
yeah.
you know.
And we did not implement red tagging. Somebody called in and turned you in.
Well, also, I was red tagged for the deck, and then also, which I said it's a ground deck, and also for a fence. And I explained to Mr. Bungie the fence that was circled on it was the fence that was there when I bought the home. And Mr. Bungie had said, and, you know, maybe there was a little miscommunication, but he said that I would have to apply for a permit on anything prior to me buying the home that wasn't permitted. So,
Dave, can you pull this one and look at everything and review it, please? Because I want to make sure that this one's right, and if it's not right, I want to know why.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's been a number of starts and stops and skips in the history of this piece of property.
And the shed should have had if her doing something without a permit is 3 times the permit fee, then the shed should have been 3 times the permit fee too. And if it wasn't, I want to know why that was too.
I I kind of feel the same way, Jeff. I mean, we've got apples to apples here.
It should also be noted, there's a mistake. You skipped a step on an accident for the desk, correct?
Yes.
In the contrary, the other gentleman has continually done things on purpose
Yeah,
to spit in the town's face. There's a huge difference here.
thank you.
I think we're getting that thinking we should get turned into a neighborhood dispute board here.
Well, it's not a neighborhood dispute, it's this poor woman who keeps having to waste her time to come back here over and over
Well, the
again.
thing
to
is,
talk about
is
the same
that
thing.
it seems as if I'm the only one being fined for something that, I just had to repair something that was caused damage because whoever didn't put in the drainage easement.
Because you spoke up.
Because I spoke up, I felt like I was being,
Targeted.
punished or something.
The timeline between the phone call about her deck and the timeline between all this other stuff that we've been hearing about for more than a year are two totally different timelines. She comes in and gets her stuff taken care of, that's what happened. And this other stuff is still not, maybe not taken care of.
I just wanna see, let's see if we're getting, if everybody's getting treated the same, and it's right.
Now Dave's gonna look at.
And nothing was done without, I wanna make sure also that nothing was done that needed a BZA approval that didn't get a BZA approval.
You also can consider, if you choose to, waiver of the red tag fine that occurred.
She already paid hers, though, she said.
Let's see what we have first.
Just saying,
Well-
method and manner of handling this administratively easily can be that at the conclusion.
Mr. Pecora, I do apologize. However, one of my problems that I had originally was the property owner using the property that's zoned residential commercially. And there's still traffic with heavy equipment going back and forth. And it kind of gets me because he has a Bobcat, and he could easily move the stones. And he also took down a tree when he put the shed, when he turned the shed, and the tree he put right on my property line, which it is a tree, whatever. And then there was a trailer there, and now it's out my living room window also. And, there's...
Are they still accessing that property from Klein Avenue and using it for a construction lot?
Yes, sir. And I have actually a photo, and I brought this up to Kirsten on Monday, and she saw the photo. There's employees back there, and they were urinating. And I took a photo, and I showed it to her, and she asked me to report it to the police department, which I did. And my thing is, if the town's going to allow this to happen, if they could put a porta potty out there, because I really don't want to see these guys taking a pee out in the backyard.
All that stuff to the west of you,
Yes.
is that gone?
No, sir.
So
There's still
everything's
rock.
not gone?
No.
What's left?
Well,
The Connex boxes are gone, right?
the Connex boxes are gone, and the carport was gone pretty quickly, and the shed was, I think, on the 5th or 6th day, I don't know. And I did video it, because it took 3 minutes. All the guy did was put it up in from the forklift, put some wheels on it, turned it, went in the front, pulled it, and then put it in the spot. And they did scoop out some of the rock from where the carport was to lay it down. And so they did that part. So there's still, in my backyard, if you look, it's up quite a bit, probably, 5 feet. I didn't measure it, but then also on top of that, there's 2 railroad ties, and then another addition of stone on top of that. And it's not just where the carport and the shed were, but it's where the Connex boxes were too. And then I noticed today, because I took a photo for you, if anybody wanted to see, that there's actually concrete there too.
Let me get back to my question.
Yes, sir.
Stuff that was removed to the west of you, is everything gone?
No.
What's left?
There's a storage trailer still there.
Still?
It's my neighbor's storage trailer. He has storage in it, he never drives it or nothing like that, and it's in the middle of the lot now.
The stuff that was removed has not been returned?
I don't know what you mean, as far as...
The stuff that they took
The
out of there?
Connex boxes, no.
Any of that, it's
No,
all
that
still
hasn't
gone?
that hasn't been returned, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any pictures here. I got a couple pictures of the deck that she built. but I did not take any pictures of Mr. Young's single lot. And at least the day that I was there 2 weeks ago, it was pretty clear. There was there was a little something on the very north side of the property, but for the most part, on that day, I did not see any vehicles or trailers back there.
Okay. Is, Dave, that, entrance off Klein Avenue for that property, for the old properties that were there, is that a legal entrance now?
I would think so.
It's still legal, so he can drive a truck in there, get the tires all muddy, drive out on the street?
And then this is
I
what they
would
did
think
to the
so.
front of
Okay.
their house.
It's by what it looks like on paper.
I'm going to work.
Whose responsibility is this to see that this stuff is taken care of?
This is code enforcement.
Code enforcement.
This is code enforcement. If there's
Then,
code-
what I need to do is, I need to have somebody get a hold of code enforcement and tell them to get out there and see that this is taken care of.
You have the head of the department here, Mr. Bungie, and he can direct all that traffic with the wand, Jeff.
Code enforcement or building department?
Code enforcement, right?
I would like code enforcement to be given a list of what's supposed to be done, and have them go out there and see that this is taken care of. This, I'm tired of us spending our time to talk about this when there's nothing we can do. For the 1,000th time, I feel sorry for you, I plead with you.
I'm sorry, you're my
You know,
tool,
but-
sir, I'm sorry.
But that's what is gonna have to happen. So code enforcement needs to be notified with the list of, well, it seems like every time you come in here, you got something to add to your list.
Well, it appears as if, I
That's
apologize.
enough, I don't wanna hear anymore, we're done talking about this, we just spent 15, 20 minutes on this. You know, so what we're gonna do is, it's gonna be turned over to code enforcement with a list of what your complaints are. Code enforcement has to take care of it, and that's the end of it in here.
When Dave reviews everything, I will revisit
Okay,
that with.
if I may ask a question,
Sure.
I don't know if you're talking about code enforcement with the police department, because I talked to the police twice this week,
Dave,
or...
no. Dave, what do you mean by that?
I mean, it's gonna be in the planning and building department, would be acting as code enforcement.
So it is us.
Does that answer your question?
Please?
Yeah, so it is this board.
No,
No, it's the building department, it's not the code enforcement part of the police department, that's what you're saying.
that's right.
Oh.
Okay, so, I apologize.
It's misuse of property, allegedly.
Does she
It's not long grass.
Does she follow up with planning commission, or does she follow up with town council?
She follows up first with Mr. Bungie,
I
and Mr. Bungie follows up with you.
Right.
I met with Mr. Bungie in his office at my property, and then I came in on Monday and talked to Kirsten, and she said that she was gonna email you.
She did. And I responded to her, and I told you what I said.
Okay,
What I
so, okay, so if I'm supposed to talk to Mr. Bungie, I have 3 times about the same issue.
There he is, talk to him again.
Just,
And he just got some new...
he just got direction right now, and he's gonna follow up with town council.
And the building department, and building code administration.
And Mr. Roshan's involved in this follow-up.
Okay, so what shall I expect?
Well, I'll see how everybody's schedule is in the morning, but you should probably see somebody there on no later than Friday.
It's for next week.
Okay,
Well, I don't see any, unless you and I have to talk first.
Well, we should be coordinated,
Okay.
I would think.
so, correct me if I'm wrong, so we have to wait longer for the parts that were put for the foundation of the shed, right? So
Well,
I'm still...
actually, that's not what they said. Now, the way I understood this, if there's still debris there from the shed, then he's getting fined at $2,500 a day, correct?
Or whatever compliance requirement there is.
From that 6th day.
From that 6th day. That's what John said. That's what I feel like
Right.
needs to be. If it's not all out of there, then the fines, in my view, concur.
Continue.
Every day, a separate offense.
And we'll be in touch with Andy.
Mr. Cabrera, can we have an understanding here This didn't happen overnight. It's not gonna be fixed overnight. We've just gotten an assignment from the Plan Commission, directive of the town council leadership, and we're gonna start. It's not gonna happen overnight. The assessment of information, documentation, codes, coordination with our field people and the administrative staff, compilation of those materials for a report through Jeff and his team to the town council. So,
Mr. Ashen, thank you. I don't believe that you were here at the last meeting that I spoke, I think 2 meetings. And, I just want to reiterate.
One of his attorneys were here.
Yes, I just want to reiterate that I had announced to the town in April of 2023 that I was getting water from both properties, and also brought up the situation with the shed. So I understand that it didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to go overnight, but it's been a long time.
appreciate that.
We're gonna be diligent with this, Angie, and
Okay, well,
you have the ears of the council and the building department and Jeff's office. If you need to talk or get an update on anything, you're welcome to reach out with any of us.
I appreciate that, very much so, but I feel that I feel that there's some type of retaliation going on because of this. And I can't see how anybody else couldn't see the same, when one day I said this, and then the next day this happened at me.
Well,
So I'm having a difficult time.
that's why I asked Dave to review all those documents, and if that is the case, it will be dealt with.
All right, so what shall I expect?
See what Dave comes up with and how, it's gonna take him a little time to review it all, but the procedure needs to have been followed for all of it.
2 weeks come back and find out an update, or
2
Mr.
weeks is
Austin call
probably
me,
enough.
or would any of you like to come to my property? I'm inviting you there to look.
Is the grill lit?
I don't know what to
Excuse
say.
me?
Is the grill lit?
No grill.
You come to every meeting, keep coming to meetings, you're entitled to do that. And if that's how you wanna monitor it, that's great, that'll be helpful. We'll know you're watching and paying attention.
So come back in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Come back to any meeting you wanna come.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Nobody online? No, sir.
I do have a comment before you go.
Okay, Heather?
I have a question regarding the MS4 fines. I know we talked in March, I have an email that we were gonna get a spreadsheet with the updated MS4 fines from 2022, 23, who had paid, who was still outstanding.
Yes, I do have that together, and I will make sure the plan commission is in receipt of it before my final day. My apologies, I'm not getting it out sooner.
Can you tell us now who still has outstanding fines that aren't paid?
When I put the spreadsheet together, every fee had been paid. No outstanding fines were outstanding.
Okay, and that dates back to 2022?
That dates back to 2022, so everything in 2022 and everything in 2023 has been paid.
And that includes the fines that were forgiven and fines that were paid?
Correct,
Okay, and we'll have that,
before I leave.
okay. Is that before the next meeting?
My last day is March, or not March,
May
May 3rd. So you will definitely have it before your next meeting.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Jim.
I'd like to ask Jeff, does the building inspector make a written report to you, or does he just a verbal report?
Well, I'm sure it'll be a written report.
Can we get a copy of that written report, what he finds and what he...
There's documentation, so, yeah, we can make sure that gets detailed. Or commissioners, excuse me.
Okay, nobody showed up online for,
I got a question.
Nope. Okay, go ahead, Chuck.
Jeff, by any chance, anybody reach out to you about the barn off Parish?
The barn off Parish.
Maple
No, well, it's now owned by Diamond Peak. I did find that out. It's not sold, it's not owned by the original developer. And, but no demolition permit has been applied for yet.
All right, 'cause I stopped by there today, and the whole top section of the barn, it's like leaning away from the wall, like this. Flapping back and forth. Windows are broken out. It's not secured at all. Is there any way we can get a hold of them, tell them at least put temporary fence, construction fence around
I
there?
guess if it's, is open and kids in Burlington get in there, then, it's,
Yeah, the one door's open.
We
wide
had
open.
discussed that at the unsafe previously, and the understanding was that they were gonna go out and secure it. They eventually did. Tony went out and confirmed that it was secured, but that was over a month ago. So I'm sure by now other people have gotten into it.
I'll give you the contact of them if you can send them an email.
okay, very good.
I know we had a discussion last night about, they're supposed to preserve that building and, not tear it down, and I guess that's gonna be discussed at, unsafe, correct, Heather?
The hope was is that we're gonna, call them and let them know that they.
Because it was initially discovered that that building was supposed to be rehabbed, and some people are saying they wanna preserve it.
Correct.
Right.
Is it my turn? My turn now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, the agreement was is that they were going to, initially, they were going to try to preserve the pieces of it, but deconstruct it. Other things have come to light since then, where we talked last night about holding off on issuing a demo permit so we could review documents.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now.
Do you know the documentation as far as the, the piecemeal?
The minutes of the meeting is what's gonna have to be gone through, but for now, just to notify them that no demo permit will be issued and that they should come to our next meeting.
Next unsafe.
Next unsafe, yes, correct.
So they were given a 60-day deferral at the
I
unsafe?
think it was 90.
60, I think. Although.
Either way, I want them here in May.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like 90 is correct. All right, we just had some people walk in. Who are we looking for, Ashley?
Paul Mish.
No? And there were two of them.
The other was Yuming.
No? Okay.
Did you people come in for something?
Next agenda. Next agenda.
The 7 o'clock agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna keep this, work session open till I finish the special meeting. And then if those, two petitions don't show up, then, we'll adjourn. I'm gonna call the, Town of Cedar Lake Plan Commission, May 1st, 2024, special public agenda to order. Roll call was taken previously, nobody has left, so I'm gonna bypass that. Agenda number 1. 141st Partners, final plat, owner, 141st Partners LLC, Mike Neubauer, 2802 East 139th Avenue, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Petitioner, 141st Partners LLC, 2802 East 139th Avenue, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Vicinity of 10702 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting the final plat for a one-lot subdivision. Good evening.
Hello, Mike Neubauer, 2802 East 139th Avenue in Crown Point.
Okay, state by your request here.
So yeah, we're looking for the final plat approval. I was unfortunately not able to be here at the last meeting. I tried to Zoom in, talk, it just wasn't working for me. I was able to share anything. I met with the town inspector from Burke Engineering. We walked the site. I've taken care of everything. We went in and out of manholes to ensure there's no sediment getting off of our site, which is the case. I took care of everything at that, when we walked it. The only thing we're not able to take care of yet is the stockpiles, just because you can't get trucks in there in between the rain. So they'll be there again tomorrow and take as much as we can before rain starts. But besides stockpiles, they got to get removed. Everything else, we've totally repaired the railroad's culvert for them to take care of it on our side as well. That side, it's all riprap and, like I said, we walked the site with the town's inspector to make sure that there was nothing else besides the stockpiles is There's no way to get semis in and out of there without sinking them.
Okay, Don, you have anything?
It's better. There's still some work to do, but they've done a decent amount, so we're happy for now.
We can move forward with this?
I think so.
I have a question for Donna.
Yep, sure.
I got you, the information, that's supposed to be North Fork Railroad, and, I had Kirsten send you the information of that contact. Were you able to contact them about cleaning all the?
I don't know if I got that contact, but we had already contacted him prior to that.
All right,
So
she sent you the guy that was at the Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission.
We contacted him over a month ago. As far as I know, they haven't done anything yet, which I'm not surprised at the railroad, so, no, I don't think I got anything from Kirsten.
Okay, she's got that in her office, and
I can reach back out to her.
all right. But that was a contact, and he said he wanted to work with communities on, problems, and I told him I wasn't sure if that was his railroad, but then after talking to
It
Don,
is.
it is theirs.
Yep, they've got other culverts, not just that one they need to clean,
Yeah,
so,
so hopefully we can make progress there.
yep, I'll reach out to Kirsten.
So Don, your letter dated, April 12th.
Yep.
You have a whole different, opinion about it right now. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, this was April 12th. We actually went out there on Thursday. Things weren't done yet. They started on Friday, actually. And then, like Mr. Neubauer said, Vanessa from our group went out there today, this morning, and there were improvements since last week. So specifically, the ditch line between the railroad culvert and the interior culvert, that's all rip-wrapped. We still have some work to do in the pond to kind of reshape some of the side slopes that kind of got caved in. That'll be your biggest next thing. Rip-wrap aprons, stuff like that within that pond. But, I mean, yeah, it's been dry this week, which is good, but the site was pretty wet before. So we're making progress. It's been much better than the last meeting we had, so we'll still keep an eye on them, just like we do with every other site, and keep our reports and our inspections going. We'll generate another report from the meeting this morning, and then we'll keep moving on.
And is the letter of credit still $473,445.50?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Which the town should already have that.
Yep. I believe the 3% inspection fee has been paid and the MS4 inspection fee.
And we have, at the last meeting, we said, the equipment will be there on Friday, they'll start Monday. The equipment was there on Friday, they started Monday. I mean, we've held to our word as much as we can in between rainstorms, but I've begged an operator to get out there and move some riprap because nobody wants to bury their equipment, but we've done everything, every step of the way that we said we're gonna do.
We're not tired of seeing you, but we're tired of seeing you.
Yeah, no, trust me, I want it done more than you guys even, so.
Mother Nature doesn't cooperate sometimes.
We've had a lot of extreme rainy weather, and we've got more coming.
Building Department, any comments?
As reported, the 3% inspection fee and the MS4 inspection fee have been paid. We have received their letter of credit in that full amount that is noted in Don's letter. So we have, everything is taken care of in order for a final plat to be approved.
Commissioners have any comments?
No, sir.
All we need to hear is ready to go.
All right, decision time. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the petitioner's request for a final plat of a one-lot subdivision at 10702 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Wilkening, seconded by Ms. Deschauer.
Wait, hold on.
Jerry, can you modify that just to reference our letter? It has all the numbers in it.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the petitioner's request for a final plat for a one-lot subdivision pending improvements and referencing those improvements on Christopher Burke's letter
April 12th.
from April 12th, and whatever happened, what you said this morning?
Like letter of credit value, 3% inspection fee, and MS4 inspection fee.
Yep, include the MS4 and the letter of credit.
And the 3%.
And 3%. Yep. Works for me.
Still second?
I'll still second.
I have a motion, a revised motion by Mr. Wilkening, seconded by Ms. Deschauer. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hundley?
Yes.
Ms. Dessauer?
Yes.
Mr.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mr. Capora?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Number 2, Shelley Development preliminary plat, owner Cedar Lake 133 LLC, P.O. Box 677, St. John, Indiana 46373. Petitioner Shelley Development, P.O. Box 677, St. John, Indiana 46373. Vicinity 5604 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana 46303. Petitioner is requesting a preliminary plat for Lakeside South Unit 1 for a total of 34 lots and 4 outlots. Are legals in order?
Come back to me, please.
Legals okay?
He's gonna check it.
Paul?
Please.
State your name and address, please.
Sure. Jack Slager with Schilling Development, along with Jack Hulls from DVG. We are here tonight requesting the primary plat for Lakeside South Unit 1. This is the first phase of the Lakeside South development. This would include the 34 lots along with the entrance off of 141st, small detention area. It's a very complicated set of engineering drawings because being the first phase of many, we have to take into account all of the future phases while we're designing this phase. I know our engineer, Jack, has been in contact with Don almost daily, working through all of the details of the engineering. I think we've made a lot of progress in the last 2 weeks. I know there are still some open items, and I would expect that we end up with potentially a 2-week deferral tonight, but we have advertised for the public hearing, so we would like to conduct a public hearing to see if there's any comments here from the public that we need to take into account.
Sure. No problem. Engineer, have any comments?
We issued a letter on the 30th, kind of going through stuff. Jack's correct. I think I've talked to the other Jack every day. That's not an exaggeration, multiple times per day to get through this. The letter is big, but it's just kind of how we go through the process. Jack Slager is also correct in the fact that this is the first unit, so there's a lot of planning for future units, especially with utilities, that kind of go part and parcel with everything. The biggest remaining items are water main related, just getting the sequencing of that, how that's going to be built out, not only for Unit 1, but over the lifespan of the build-out, which is actually really important because it's a really important cog in our 2 systems over there. So that's the last big thing that we have to get through, and we're working on that. A lot of internal discussions and whatnot, but everything else is rather ministerial. It's just getting through some of the upfront stuff, but I mean, we're getting there.
Are we done in 2 weeks?
I think so. It's all dependent on the water main.
Question, Don,
Yeah.
on your report, you've got 19 items that are not addressed.
Mm-hmm.
You got 22 partially addressed, and then I want to have explanation on the water main of an 8-inch to a 12-inch, and it's not clear that in Jack's letter in there, that's not clear that we're proceeding with putting that in yet.
So,
My understanding.
the trunk main, as we're calling it, it's a 12-inch main that'll eventually connect into the town's water main on 141st, the southwest corner of the property. There's some discussion about potentially interim scenarios. The 12-inch main down Lakeside Boulevard, which is the center of the development that connects into Lakeside North, that will be all 12. And it will be a full 12-inch connection into our main at some point. We're trying to balance kind of how much infrastructure is going in all at once, based on what we need, based on a water need, and then based on, what we need long-term. So there's still some discussion about, 12 and an 8. It's going to be a 12 continuous at some point. It's whether if we need it right now or if we can, be okay with it until 3-4 years down the road. So there's a lot of sequencing that goes into this discussion, just the sheer volume of utilities going in right now, and that's the biggest thing that we're trying to work to still. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, if we're thinking about putting in an 8-inch, and then in 3 years, we'd have to dig it up and maybe put it in.
No.
Oh,
So-
that's the way what I thought you.
No. So it's kind of the segment from their entrance, which on 141st to where we connect in. So it's only a small portion of it. They have to put in laterals on the next street up right now to serve their units. The lateral, I guess the transmission main that would be on 141st isn't exactly needed right now. So in lieu of putting essentially two mains right next to each other right now, you would have an 8 and a 12. We don't really need that right now. And they're only platting pretty much to their entrance. They're not even platting that entire stretch. They're not doing road improvements there. They're just focusing on the entrance right now for this unit. There's not a huge need for the 12 to go in right now, and it would essentially go from a 12 to an 8 to a 12 temporarily. We have plenty of pressure and plenty of volume to handle that for the foreseeable future, like several hundred lots. But there's some discussion about can it go in later as those lots build out and more users come online to that system. That needs to be vetted if we're okay with that. We've just been discussing internally. I believe we're going to have some discussions here over the next week with staff. We have had internal discussions with Water Department. We're all on the same page. We just kind of need to get, to a final layout and kind of development plan. It's an important spine. It's an extremely important spine.
It's important due to the fact that we need to get that hooked into our water tower over there on the east side. And we told the Indiana Regulatory Commission that we would loop this system by 2028, which I don't see how that's gonna happen, but we told them we'd do that.
That's a whole different discussion. That is actually combining the west and east side together.
Right.
That's an entirely different discussion. And, yeah, that's a very long-term discussion.
What would be the results if we probably can't get that loop by 2028?
Are you talking administratively, Bob?
Yeah, what would happen to us when we told them we'd do that and we can't do it maybe?
We would likely be before them seeking an extension of that, the term of that compliance. Likely an engineering request.
Okay.
That's what would happen.
Oh, that's a concern that I have.
My concern is we're planning for the future. We need for expansion. We need 12, go for the 12.
No, the 12 in some form or fashion is going to be in. It's just a matter if we need to install it right now, which we don't. The 8 will work plenty fine based on our modeling up to a point. And that's most likely several years down the road. Once we get the tank online and we get the two production facilities tied together, it extremely increases that system to what it is today.
And you submitted everything to IDEM to try and get approval for our water system, right?
Yeah, that's a multi-prong kind of effort right now. Right now, we submitted permits into them, or documentation at least, in lieu of the permits, with the permits coming right behind it, for the Paradise Cove upgrades, and then for our Morse water main sewer as well. So that's going in. That has to be done kind of in concert with this connection, and then also with Robin's Nest upgrades with the tank coming online here soon.
And you're waiting for IDEM to send you their response?
We got a response back from them on Monday. We have draft permits together that Water Department's reviewing right now. We were talking a couple times today with them today. We need one more round of water quality testing on Paradise Cove. Once we have that information, we can submit the construction permits for the upgrades and for the Morse water main. That is literally as of today.
Okay, thank you.
So, other than the water and all the caveats, the rest of this stuff, you don't see any snags?
No, and I trust Jack and I will be working over the next 2 weeks to eliminate a good chunk of those anyways.
Okay, excellent. I got nothing else.
But the 19 not addressed and the 22 partially addressed, you feel comfortable that they're going to be taken care of?
Well,
I do.
I think you said you were gonna anticipate a deferral, correct?
Yes, sir.
So-
Yes, ma'am.
For 2 weeks, yeah.
Let's see what it looks like in 2 weeks then.
But we have advertised for the public hearing, so we'd like you to
Yeah,
open it.
correct, we're going ahead with it. Yeah, and Don said that he felt comfortable that he should have this done in 2 weeks. So we should be set for the next public hearing.
I just wanted that clarified.
Sure. Is legal's in order?
Legals are in order.
Okay, we can proceed now. Let's grab a seat a minute, I'll call for remonstrators. Is there any remonstrators for or against this request? Are there any remonstrators for or against? Anybody online?
No, sir.
Remonstrations are closed. Okay, gentlemen, coming back up. Building department.
We don't have any major comments at this point in time. We've just been working with the town engineer and the town and the developer, not the town developer, my apologies, and the developer to try and make sure everything is in order and ready for you guys for your public hearing.
Commissioners have any other discussion?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the petitioner is requesting a 2-week deferral to the next public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Who said that, so moved?
I did.
Bob? We have a motion by, Mr. Carnahan to defer for 2 weeks, and a second by Mr. Wilkening. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Stetshauer? Yes. Mr. Wilkening?
Yes.
Mr. Caprera?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Public comment, any public comment?
Mr. President,
Yes.
can I speak quickly?
Yes.
I reached out to Mr. Smith, who is the person that I was talking to about the new construction home that is on the last agenda. And I want to read this to you for the record, because I couldn't understand why he wouldn't have zoomed in tonight if he said that he was going to zoom in tonight, because he's been adamant that he wants to get this project underway because he has deposits down on things.
Is that the guy from Arizona?
Yes. So, I texted him and told him he was missing his his work session meeting, and asked him if he could zoom in. He said, Mr. Parker, they told us the meeting would be May 15th. They did not have one tonight. Thank you for reaching out. Can I call you, or should I follow up with you tomorrow? I said, do you have a Zoom link? I said, you can still zoom in if you hurry. He said, I was not provided a Zoom link. I said, okay, I will reach out to you when the meeting's over, and I'm gonna make the other planners aware of the confusion. So, for the record, I just want to add that because, again, I couldn't understand why he wouldn't be zooming in based on the dialogue we've had.
I had Cheryl send him a Zoom invite for tonight.
Just stating what he said.
With his email address.
Based on the confusion, I would ask that we allow him to present a concept at the next meeting.
He wants to be here in 2 weeks, right?
I don't know what he wants. I haven't talked to him. That was just a text.
You can direct the agenda, include this item, the concept item,
Okay.
Usually concepts are planned at work sessions, but...
It's not this is a waiver request, right? This is the
waiver.
Rockland one?
Yeah,
It's a waiver request.
it's a waiver request.
Okay, I misspoke.
So we can go ahead and put it on the agenda in 2 weeks?
Yeah, hopefully that works out for what he needs to do, but yes, I would like.
Put it on the public hearing?
Yes.
No,
Not the public hearing, the
Public meeting.
agenda.
on the agenda for the public
For a
hearing.
concept, not for a public hearing. Or, frankly, and here's the other thing. Rich has gone to look at this site.
All right, wait a second, let's finish this public hearing, and then we'll come back, because that's in the work session. Okay? Is that okay with you?
We're continuing the work session after this meeting?
Yes.
That's fine then, yes.
Yeah, okay. Do we have any public comment?
I'd like to make one real quick before we go back to the
Yes.
other agenda. I would just like to take the time to thank this plan commission, as well as the town council and the BZA, for the opportunity that was presented to me to work first for the town as a recording secretary and then as the plan commissioner, or as the planning director for the town. It has been a great 2 years, and I wish you all the best as you continue on as the plan commission for the town.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck.
Touche.
Your adventure.
We appreciate everything you've done for us. You've been a tremendous help to us, and we certainly will miss your skills and your bubbly attitude. Good luck in your new venture.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna adjourn the special meeting. Now, Mr. Parker, you can continue.
So, like I said before, I've had some dialogue with Mr. Smith. He reached out to me. He purchased a piece of property that a house, as Ashley had stated earlier, there was a house there that was demoed on a traveled lot that is gravel, that is a dedicated street in Cedar Lake.
Mr. Parker, I don't mean to interrupt, but we did vote not to extend the work session, so I just wanna, if we would need to talk about this, that's totally fine, but I don't know what we need to do now to like undo that, so what we talk about now isn't.
Wait.
We voted not to.
We voted to extend it.
Oh,
It was
John
a
and I voted not to.
5-2 vote.
Okay, let's just get on with it, my goodness. It's exhausting. It's tough for me to discuss things when people aren't here. If he wants to come back on the 15th, we'll talk to him on the 15th.
We can certainly do that. I got a feeling he's gonna be pretty hostile if everything that he told me is accurate, because frankly, I'm getting pretty hostile about it.
So what's the background?
He said that he reached out to the building department before he purchased this lot to make sure that it was buildable. In the midst of that, he paid $57,000 for this. They told him it was buildable. In the midst of this, he paid $57,000 for this lot that is on an unimproved road that's dedicated in the town of Cedar Lake, where a house previously was that was demolished that has a well and a sewer tap already. That's a significant investment. Then he reaches out to pull a permit to start construction of a home, and he's told that because it is on a gravel street, he can't get a permit. There is already another house on the street that is further down the street than this house. This gentleman cannot pull a permit, and we seem to be just skipping this stuff down. And if this is how it works around here, we've got serious problems.
Well, who told him it was buildable? Does he have a name or an email or a?
I don't know, but if he's got to come here from Arizona with all of his documentation.
We could just send it via email.
He talked to me. He talked to me in January, and because it is on our Paiser map as a level 1 rating, because we haven't allowed building permits on level 1 Paiser rating modes in the past, because there was a house on this road previously, because there's already an existing utility built, I assumed in my reviewing and in previous, how we have done things previously on allowing houses to be built on level 1 Paiser roads, that a building permit would be no problem.
So who told him that was not
When
correct?
it becomes an older pre-platted subdivision, we send it off for review. During the review process, it came back that because it is noted as an unimproved road, that he cannot build without improving the road through the entire frontage. That's outlined in the subdivision control ordinance. I have talked with Mr. Austin on this one after everything occurred, and the direction from Mr. Austin was that it appeared in front of the Plan Commission for a waiver request to build this new house on this road, due to the fact that there was a house there. There is a house further north. There's already that utility build there. I have checked with Public Works. This is a road that we do maintain. We plow it in the winter. That due to all these facts, they come in front of you for a waiver from the typical road standards on being on a paved road, and that they can build on the gravel road.
That recommendation I made was based upon history here. You have a subdivision, the most recent in memory is on Colfax Street on the east side off 133rd. It's Colfax North. And we gave some approvals, notwithstanding the condition of the road, with requirements that an extension be made, not to the end of the property, by the way, but to the start of the property as the frontage. So So that recommendation is based upon history or custom and practice, and the fact that they would come before you for the waiver.
In that case, though, there were no other houses further down that street.
That's
no,
correct.
None were north of it, Greg, you're right.
In this case, there is a house further down the street than this gentleman is proposing to build his house and the other house was. My issue is, and I'm not mad at anybody, and I'm not saying this to chastise anybody, but if somebody reaches out to get information on a piece of property before they spend $57,000 on it, the damn information should be accurate. Because somebody invests $57,000 for a lot that they want to build a new house on in this community, in a pre-platted subdivision, the information should A, be accurate, and B, the information for the meetings and the hearings should also be accurate. I'm not saying that it isn't, but I'm sitting here pretty frustrated about this whole thing tonight. So, that said, I just wanted to get it out there. Not trying to add anything in, not trying to frustrate the rest of the plan commissioners. I just want to start getting things right around here.
Don, other than the waiver for the road, are there any other snags with this property?
Work session.
Not that I can think of. I mean, the revised zoning ordinance as we wrote it allows for stuff like this. This is a unique case. Dave brought up a similar case, but different in the fact that those were new houses, it was a new platting. This is a platted right away. It's being used by other houses, but it needs the waiver to follow the current ordinance, plain and simple.
Okay.
Because it's unimproved, and you can waive improvement.
Can we reopen the public meeting?
Sure. Motion second.
Why don't we all do the public meeting for?
Vote on this.
No.
Okay.
Not gonna do that. I have,
This is an agenda item for 2 weeks.
I have not seen any instance where we approved a house to be built on a gravel road. None.
Every subdivision east of Moore Street is a gravel road.
That's not my point, Greg. What I stated was, I have not seen anything that we approved to build a house on a gravel road. Now, you're talking about $57,000, on Colfax, they spend $90,000 plus attorney fees and a bunch of other stuff.
John, my problem is they called down here to get information before the lot was purchased. They got inaccurate information or incomplete information and purchased the lot anyway. And again, if that's the way we're gonna do business around here, part of my problem with the hyperbole and the rhetoric that goes around here is we are promoting things that really don't exist or we can't sell. This is another one of those issues. It pisses me off that we look incompetent on situations like this here. So, that's all I gotta say about it. And again, my blood pressure's up, and I'm trying not to do that this go-around. I've had enough. I'm getting the hell out of here. If it was me, I'd be filing a lawsuit. I promise you I would.
Thanks for your time, Greg.
We are adjourned, right?
No, we're not.
No, we're not yet. We're still in the work session.
Okay, I didn't know which adjourned I should mark.
We adjourned the, special meeting.
Special meeting. Okay, thank you.
No, we're back into the, what have you, into the messed up part.
Can't we have a special work session before our next public meeting?
Absolutely.
On the 15th, is he gonna be on the agenda?
If so directed by the plan commission, I can make it happen.
Yes, please.
I think there's a lot to be discussed before we take and put it in front of a public hearing. You know, I mean, how far up the road is this house gonna be? What's the construction of that road? Oh, it's gravel, but what's the base? Has it been there for 100 years?
But the thing is,
You know, I mean, did he have a good solid base? I mean, there's a lot of things.
Well, most of the roads on the east side of Morris need to be redone. They haven't been done since the sewers were put in the 70s, and that's our fault.
Most of the roads on the west side need to be redone.
Yeah, but those were done on the west side.
That's neither here nor there, but when the roads were done or not done or what have you. But the problem here is we're talking about Somebody wants to build a house on a gravel road. How long is this gravel road from this, turn off the asphalt onto the gravel road to where he wants to build his house?
The house?
Block, 2 blocks, 10 blocks?
300 feet.
300 feet.
Ish.
Yeah. He wants to start building 10 feet off of the, southern boundary of Block 40.
300 feet.
The house further north has been around since the early 1900s. So, I can't say 100% how long the road itself has been around, but I know that house to the north has been around since the early 1900s.
Don, do we get tax dollars for that road?
It's in the inventory, so yeah.
So we get paid tax dollars for that road?
Plus there was a house there previously.
Yeah.
What's the address of the proposed?
14315 Rockland.
I'm sorry, one more time?
14315 Rockland. If you take a trip down Rockland,
I'll find it.
when you get to the round curve rounded at the edge, that's around where they want to, that's around where they're proposing to build.
My question is, we can still have a work session prior to the public meeting?
Yeah.
Motion, we have a work session prior to the public meeting?
I don't think we've ever done that, have we?
I don't want to start changing rules here. If he wasn't here tonight, I want to see him at a work session, which is in a month, and we'll go over all this. To give us a chance to look at it. My question was, when I received this agenda, was, I need more information. You know when I got the next information? Tonight. So how in the hell can I go look at anything if I don't have information? Like an address? I can't. So I want an address so I can go look at this. I want information when I request it. I ask somebody, give me more information, I expect to get it. All right, moving on. Did anybody show up for, Palmish?
I know it's fine, I just talked to texted his wife, they're still in Florida, they'll be back May 11th. Unless he zooms, they're not here.
Nobody's on Zoom.
Somebody online was
You're looking at that, right?
Yes, I'm here, thanks. I see it. I'll go tomorrow.
Did, anybody show up for that second? The what's that, the 142nd Avenue?
Yes.
Is Mr. Mish here?
No.
That's what I
She
just
just-
said, I texted his wife, I know them, and they're in Florida, still they'll be coming up here May 11th. Unless he's in Zoom,
I agree with you.
he's not here physically,
We can't make a
in the
motion.
area.
See him in a month too.
Pardon?
See him in a month too.
See him in a month too, yeah.
Do you want to, go ahead?
Next study session.
We can make a motion to have that then, right?
If this meeting's open, somebody, you can make any motion you want.
I make a motion, we, have a work session prior to our public meeting.
I'll second that.
Any questions on the motion?
No question.
Roll call.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker is absent. Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hunley?
Yes.
Ms. Bensauer?
No.
Mr. Wilkerning?
No.
Mr. Capora?
No.
There's no action.
Motion is 3-3, no action taken on the motion.
I have a question.
Yes.
The gentleman with the gravel road, Mr. Smith, he had two options, to be here or to Zoom. One of you or both of you said he was given information on how to Zoom and all that stuff.
I asked Cheryl to send him a Zoom invitation.
So, and you have proof of all that? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I emailed it to her, in fact, Jeff was in my office when I told her I was gonna email,
If it comes up in conversation, I want to make sure somebody's looking at it, not looking for it.
Yeah, good. I was going over stuff with Jeff and Kirsten when I told Cheryl I was gonna ask her to send him a Zoom invitation.
Yeah, about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah,
We could probably document a timestamp and everything.
Okay.
and it'll
Just-
even be on
just-
the webinar.
Just making sure everything is I's dotted, T's crossed.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, we're adjourned.
We're not gonna go for public comment?
I already had it, Bob.
Okay.
Where were you?